Good day, grade 7 students. I am Sir John, and I will be with you as we study about science. Tara, let's learn together. In today's lesson, we will be talking about sound, which is still a part of our lesson for the third quarter. The most essential learning competency indicated in our pivot for a budget of work is describe the characteristics of sound using the concepts of wavelength, velocity, and amplitude. Today's lesson is from the Pivot for a Learner's Pocket, which is used by grade 7 in Calabarzon region. Special thanks to Miss Lerma L. Dairit from Region 4A for sharing your expertise for the content of this lesson. Try placing your palm on your throat while saying, "What you doing?" What did your palm feel? Were there vibrations in the throat? Try it again and this time say, "Mom, Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence." When we talk or make any sound, our vocal cords vibrate. When there are no vibrations felt, no sound is produced. This time, tap your table with a pencil or ruler repeatedly. What do you hear? Notice that as the pencil or ruler vibrates, it makes sound. This means that sounds are caused by vibrations. Vibrations of molecules are the back and forth movement of molecules. Vibrations are considered as a disturbance that travels through a medium. This vibratory motion causes energy to transfer to our ears and is interpreted by our brain as a sensation of sound. The vibration of the air force through our vocal cords makes us produce sound. Sound is a form of energy that causes molecules of a medium to vibrate back and forth. The molecules of the medium vibrate back and forth in a series of compressions and rarefactions. This series of compressions and rarefactions produces a wave in which the sound energy is transmitted. Sound waves are longitudinal waves. It is also classified as a mechanical wave. Thus, there has to be a medium for which sound should travel and propagate. Sound is a longitudinal wave created by object that vibrates and appeal to our auditory system. The unit used to measure frequency is hertz. Humans, just like us, can hear sounds with frequency of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Sounds with frequencies beyond 20,000 Hz are described as ultrasonic sound, while infrasonic sounds are the ones with frequencies of lower than 20 Hz. Dogs, cats, and bats are some of the animals that can hear sounds that range from 45 Hz to 120,000 Hz. In the given figure, a tuning fork is used to demonstrate the propagation of sound. The vibration produced by the tuning fork determined the movement of the molecules of air to the right, creating compressions, the molecules. As the prongs of the tuning fork vibrates, the air molecules moved closer to each other, creating compression. And as the air molecules moved apart, thus making up the rarefaction. Sound is a mechanical wave. It requires a medium to propagate. Without the state of matter, it could not transmit energy. Sound travels fastest among solids compared to liquids or gases. Take a look at the figure given. The particles of solid are packed tighter together, thus allowing fast collision of particles and transmissions of sounds. Since different media transmit sound differently, sound travels at different speeds in different materials. Sound cannot travel in a vacuum. Remember that sound is a mechanical wave which needs medium in order to propagate. If no matter exists, there will be no sound. In the outer space, sound would not be transmitted. Sound is described by three characteristics: the pitch, loudness and intensity, and the quality. The first characteristic of sound is the pitch. It is the highness or the lowness of sound. Pitch depends almost completely on the frequency of the sound wave. The sound frequency is the number of sound waves that passes through a point in a certain amount of time. The greater the frequency, the higher is the pitch. Males have low-pitched voice because their vocal cords are typically massive and longer than females. Can you name some popular Filipino singers with high-pitched voice or with low-pitched voice? Loudness and intensity are closely related. Intensity of sound refers to the amount of energy of a sound wave. It is measured in decibel. Normally, humans are exposed to a range of sounds from 0 decibels to 120 decibels. Here is a table showing sound levels of different sources. Sounds with intensities greater than 120 decibels can already cause pain and damage to our ears. Loudness, on the other hand, is subjective. It is a sensation acquired by hearing which depends on how people perceive sounds. How soft or loud is the sound? Loudness is determined by the amplitude of the sound wave. That is, the greater the amplitude of the sound wave that reaches the eardrums, the greater the perceived loudness of the sound. Usually, a high-intensity sound produces a louder sound, and a low-intensity sound creates a softer sound. As the intensity becomes higher, the frequency and the energy also becomes high. The third and the last characteristic of sound is about quality. A note played in a violin does not sound like the same played in a trumpet. This is because these musical instruments produce sounds of different quality or timbre. The quality or timbre of a sound is used to distinguish between two different sounds that have the same pitch and loudness. The tone quality of a sound depends on the waveform of the sound wave. We usually perceive different tone qualities if two sounds have different waveforms. Before we end this lesson, try answering this part. Supply the missing word to complete each of the following sentences. Sound is a form of energy that causes molecules to blank back and forth. Sound waves are examples of blank waves and mechanical waves. The characteristics of sounds are blank, loudness, and quality. Among the three phases of matter, blank are the best transmitter of sound. The correct answers are vibrate, longitudinal, pitch, and solids. Try to answer the two questions posted on your screen. First, as an ambulance approaches and passes you, how can you explain the sound it produced? Second, suggest ways on how to protect human ear from noise pollution. That ends up our lesson for today. I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see each other again for our next video. Keep going and keep learning.